While filming the final season of Friends, Jennifer Aniston's dog Clyde began acting more aggressively than ever before. He was growling at crew members and trying to block access to certain rooms. When the cast members understood what the dog was trying to do, they had prevented a major disaster. September 2003, Stage 24 at Warner Brothers Studios was buzzing with bittersweet energy as the cast of Friends began filming their 10th and final season. Jennifer Aniston, along with Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, and David Schwimmer, were preparing to say goodbye to the characters that had defined their careers for a decade. Jennifer had been bringing her golden retriever mix, Clyde, to set occasionally throughout the years. The 4-year-old dog had become something of a studio mascot, beloved by cast and crew alike. He was known for his gentle temperament and ability to sense when someone needed comfort during the emotional weight of filming. But something was different about Clyde during these final season tapings. From the very first day of filming, Clyde exhibited behavior that no one had seen before. The normally docile and friendly dog became hyper-vigilant, constantly patrolling the set with an intensity that worried Jennifer. "He's never acted like this," Jennifer told Courtney during a break between scenes. "It's like he's on guard duty or something." The dog would position himself strategically around Stage 24, particularly near the basement levels where electrical equipment and storage areas were located. Most concerning was his reaction to certain crew members, maintenance workers specifically, whom he'd growl at and attempt to block from accessing lower-level areas. At first, everyone assumed Clyde was simply reacting to the emotional energy surrounding the show's end. Dogs were known to pick up on human emotions, and the set was certainly charged with nostalgia and grief as everyone prepared for the final goodbye. But Clyde's behavior was becoming more specific, more urgent, and more difficult to ignore. By the 3rd week of filming, Clyde's protective behavior had intensified dramatically. The dog would refuse to let certain maintenance workers enter the basement areas beneath Stage 24, positioning himself at stairwell entrances and letting out low, threatening growls that were completely out of character. "Jennifer, you need to control your dog," said Tom Harrison, the studio's head of maintenance. "My guys can't do their jobs with him blocking every entrance." Jennifer was puzzled and embarrassed. She'd never seen Clyde act aggressively toward anyone, let alone the maintenance staff he'd known for years. She tried keeping him in her dressing room, but he would scratch at the door and whine until she let him patrol the set again. The cast began to notice Clyde's strange fixation on the lower levels of the studio. During filming breaks, he would sit at the top of basement stairs, ears perked, as if listening for something no one else could hear. "Maybe he smells something down there," suggested David Schwimmer during lunch. "Dogs have much better noses than we do." Lisa Kudrow, who had always been particularly attuned to Clyde's moods, agreed. "He's definitely trying to tell us something. The question is what?" Meanwhile, the maintenance staff had begun to complain more frequently about Clyde's interference. Several workers reported that the dog seemed particularly agitated around the main electrical room and the area where decades-old studio infrastructure met newer systems. On October 15th, during filming of one of Rachel and Ross's final emotional scenes, Clyde's behavior reached a breaking point. The dog broke free from his usual spot and ran directly to the basement stairwell, barking frantically and refusing to be moved. That's when Jennifer made a decision that would change everything. "I'm going down there with him," Jennifer announced to the cast and crew. "Something's wrong, and Clyde's trying to show us what it is." The Friends cast, tight-knit after a decade together, immediately supported her decision. Matt LeBlanc and David Schwimmer volunteered to accompany Jennifer into the basement areas, while Courtney Cox called for studio security to join them. As they descended into the lower levels of Stage 24, Clyde led them with purpose toward the main electrical distribution room. The dog's behavior became more agitated the closer they got, but it was no longer aggressive. It was urgent, almost pleading. When they reached the electrical room, Clyde sat directly in front of the door and refused to move. He looked up at Jennifer with an expression that seemed to say, "This is it. This is what I've been trying to show you." Studio electrician Mike Ramirez arrived with his testing equipment. What he discovered inside the electrical room left everyone speechless. The main power distribution panel, which supplied electricity to not just Stage 24, but 3 adjacent sound stages, was showing dangerous irregularities. Decades-old wiring had deteriorated to the point where multiple systems were operating far beyond safe parameters. "This is a disaster waiting to happen," Mike said, his face pale as he read the meters. "We're looking at potential electrical fires, explosions, or complete power grid failure. If this had continued operating under full load..." He didn't need to finish the sentence. Everyone understood the implications. During filming, with full lighting rigs, cameras, sound equipment, and air conditioning systems running at maximum capacity, the electrical system could have catastrophically failed at any moment. The result could have been fire, explosion, or electrocution, affecting not just the Friends cast, but hundreds of people working across multiple sound stages. As Warner Brothers executives arrived to assess the situation, a disturbing truth began to emerge. The electrical problems Clyde had detected weren't entirely unknown to studio management. Several maintenance reports over the previous months had noted minor irregularities in Stage 24's electrical systems. However, with Friends approaching its series finale and massive financial pressures to complete filming on schedule, these reports had been downgraded to routine maintenance rather than emergency repairs. Jennifer was incredulous. "You're telling me that people knew there might be electrical problems and filming continued anyway?" Studio legal representatives quickly tried to contain the situation. There were discussions about non-disclosure agreements, about keeping the incident internal, about not wanting to alarm cast and crew unnecessarily. But the Friends cast, led by Jennifer, refused to be silenced. They insisted on full electrical safety inspections, not just of Stage 24, but of all sound stages at Warner Brothers Studios. What they discovered was shocking. Stage 24 wasn't the only facility with dangerous electrical deficiencies. The studio's infrastructure, some of which dated back to the 1940s, had multiple critical safety issues that had been deferred due to cost concerns. Clyde's warning had uncovered not just one potential disaster, but a studio-wide safety crisis that put thousands of entertainment industry workers at risk daily. The Friends cast used their considerable influence to demand immediate action. Filming was suspended for 2 weeks, while comprehensive electrical upgrades were completed across the entire Warner Brothers lot. Word of Clyde's life-saving discovery spread quickly through Hollywood, despite Warner Brothers' initial attempts to minimize the story. The entertainment industry trade publications picked up the story, and soon major news outlets were reporting on the Friends dog hero who had prevented a potential tragedy. The Screen Actors Guild and other industry unions used the incident to push for stricter safety inspections across all major studios. "If a dog can detect dangerous conditions that human inspectors missed or ignored, we have a serious problem with our safety protocols," said SAG Representative Maria Lopez. Jennifer used her platform to advocate for comprehensive entertainment industry safety reforms. She testified before California state legislators about the need for mandatory electrical safety inspections and transparency in reporting safety concerns. "Clyde saved our lives, but he also exposed a system that prioritizes profit over people," Jennifer said in her testimony. How many other productions are working in potentially dangerous conditions right now? The incident led to the passage of the Entertainment Industry Safety Transparency Act in California, requiring studios to publicly report safety inspections and immediately address any conditions rated as potentially hazardous. Warner Brothers, facing significant legal liability and public relations problems, not only completed the electrical upgrades but established a $50 million fund for industry-wide safety improvements. Clyde became the unofficial mascot for entertainment industry safety, appearing in PSA campaigns and safety training videos. When filming resumed 2 weeks later, Stage 24 was equipped with completely upgraded electrical systems, advanced fire suppression technology, and multiple redundant safety systems. The cast returned to work with renewed appreciation for both their safety and their four-legged guardian. "It's ironic," reflected Matthew Perry during filming of one of the final episodes. "We're ending the show about 6 friends, and it was Jennifer's dog, basically our 7th friend, who made sure we all made it to the end safely." The final season of Friends took on additional emotional weight, knowing how close they had come to a very different ending. The cast's performances in those last episodes carried a depth and gratitude that viewers could feel, even without knowing the behind-the-scenes story. Clyde remained on set for the remainder of filming, but his behavior returned to normal once the electrical problems were resolved. He seemed to understand that his mission was complete. The series finale of Friends, watched by 52.5 million viewers, was filmed on a stage that was now one of the safest facilities in Hollywood. During the final bow, Jennifer made sure Clyde was on stage with the cast, though the television audience never knew why. "He earned his place up there with us," Jennifer said later. "He protected all of us when we couldn't protect ourselves." Veterinary behaviorist Dr. Sarah Chen later studied Clyde's ability to detect the electrical problems that human inspectors had missed or ignored. Dogs can sense electromagnetic fields and electrical irregularities that humans cannot, Dr. Chen explained. When electrical systems are failing, they emit specific frequencies and electromagnetic signatures that dogs find deeply disturbing. Dr. Chen's research revealed that Clyde had likely been detecting dangerous electrical surges, ozone emissions from failing electrical components, and electromagnetic field disruptions that indicated imminent system failure. Clyde's behavior wasn't random aggression, she noted. It was a sophisticated warning system. He was trying to keep humans away from areas he instinctively knew were dangerous. The research led to pilot programs using specially trained dogs for electrical safety inspections in entertainment facilities. While these programs never became standard practice, they demonstrated the potential for animal-assisted safety detection in industrial settings. Hollywood animal trainer Mark Johnson, who worked with Clyde after the incident, was amazed by the dog's capabilities. Clyde wasn't trained for electrical detection, but his natural instincts were more accurate than expensive testing equipment that humans had been using. Today, 18 years later, Clyde has passed away, but his impact on entertainment industry safety continues. The electrical safety standards implemented after his warning have prevented numerous potential accidents across Hollywood studios. Jennifer established the Clyde Foundation for Entertainment Safety, which provides funding for safety equipment upgrades at smaller production facilities that might not have the resources for comprehensive safety systems. "Clyde taught me that heroes come in all forms," Jennifer said at the Foundation's launch. "Sometimes the most important voice in the room has 4 legs and a tail." The Foundation has funded safety upgrades at over 200 production facilities nationwide, directly protecting thousands of entertainment industry workers. At Warner Brothers Studios, a plaque in the lobby of Stage 24 reads, "In memory of Clyde, whose courage and instincts protected lives and inspired industry-wide safety improvements. Sometimes the smallest voices deliver the most important messages. Every year, on the anniversary of the incident, the surviving Friends cast members gather for a private dinner to honor Clyde's memory and discuss ongoing safety advocacy efforts. Jennifer's current dogs are trained in basic safety alert behaviors, though none have matched Clyde's extraordinary instincts. "I'll never have another dog like Clyde," she says. "He was special in ways I'm still discovering." The story of Jennifer Aniston and Clyde reminds us that sometimes the most important warnings come from unexpected sources. A dog's instincts not only saved the beloved Friends cast, but transformed safety standards across an entire industry. This story also shows us the power of listening to our pets when they're trying to communicate something urgent. Clyde's behavior seemed problematic until everyone realized he was trying to protect the people he loved. Has your pet ever exhibited behavior that seemed strange but turned out to be important? Have they ever warned you about something you couldn't see? Share your story in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Famous Tales for more incredible stories of celebrity pets who became heroes when it mattered most. Because every celebrity has a tale to tell, and some of them save lives in the most unexpected ways.